I've been thinking a little bit about life and finding life in prayer. Jesus said, I am the gate, and if anyone comes in by me, they will be safe and will go in and out and find pasture. The thief only comes to steal and kill and destroy. I came so that they could have life, yes, and have it to overflowing. And yet, in order for us to have life, Jesus relinquished his. As the worship song says that we sometimes sing, on a hill you created, you lost your life, so I could find it here. In fact, Jesus declares that whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. And I've been reflecting a little on the trauma that Jesus went through in the Garden of Gethsemane, as he struggled with the prospect of losing his life, of giving his life, and the degree of intimacy and involvement in prayer that we see among his disciples. See, we read in the Gospels, they came to a place called Gethsemane. Stay here, said Jesus to the disciples, while I pray. Jesus was facing a titanic personal crisis as he agonized in prayer for his own life. And these disciples seem to have been mainly observers of the struggle that was taking place. Observers, they remained at a distance. And then we go on to read, Jesus then took Peter, James, and John with him. And they go a bit further and he became overcome and deeply distressed. Stay here, he says, and keep watch. These three best friends of Jesus, they stayed closer to him through this trial, and he asks them to keep watch with him. True, they struggled to stay awake, which rather suggests that this struggling in prayer went on for some considerable time. But Jesus wanted them closer to him. They were more than just observers, they were upholders of him in prayer, or at least they tried to be. And it's so encouraging to see how, as a church, we have begun to engage more seriously and more persistently in prayer through this difficult period. Lynn and I are particularly grateful for those who have been more than observers, but upholders of us in prayer. And then we see Jesus himself falling face down, and we hear him crying out, Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup away from me. Jesus was no mere observer as he prayed for life. Nor was he just an upholder of others as they struggled in life. He agonized before his Father, face down on the ground. There's a depth of vulnerability here, a depth of brokenness to his praying that many of us, I suspect, have barely begun to understand. But I guess perhaps we need to start learning something of this if we're ever to begin to grasp the life that he gave himself to secure for us.